learners, I welcome you all to the last segment of lecture 41. So here I will very briefly talk about the provision that you will find in an international investment agreement titled Prohibitions and Restrictions. I had already mentioned in the earlier video why I clubbed it with a general exception. So prohibition and restriction is something that you find in the context of international trade, right? So mostly this related to import-export restrictions. So basically the provision will say that countries cannot put prohibition or restriction when it comes to import and export, right? Except certain goods like something related to nuclear materials or something related to narcotic drugs and all of that. Generally, the country should not put any prohibition or restriction. This is what we see in the context of international trade, and eventually this provision also found a place in international investment agreement as well. So in case of international investment agreement, it is used, but mostly it is used in the context of public health, like I mentioned in the earlier video, except Etriga Uganda BIT. So here in that BIT, it is also extended for environmental concerns as well. So basically this is a provision that comes from trade law origin, and you find it here as well. So what is the content of this provision? If we see, generally this provision will say that nothing in the treaty shall limit the right of the contracting parties from applying any prohibition or restrictions which are directed to protect public health and to prevent diseases and pests in animals and plants. This is what the general provision will go. And the very first BIT to contain a prohibition on provision on prohibition and restriction is China-Singapore BIT of 1985. We had already mentioned about this BIT also. OECD refers this to be the first BIT that contains an environmental provision. If we look at Article 11 of China-Singapore BIT, this is something that we have discussed in lecture 40 in detail. So that talks about, has a similar language, and that provision also focuses on health, right? Sometimes you might find a prohibition and restriction clause under a provision which is titled as scope, or under a provision which is titled as applicable law also. That is also something you will find. In case of Eritrea and Uganda BIT of 2001, the prohibition and restriction clause also extends to environmental concerns. You look at Article 14. Article 14 states that the contracting parties can adopt, maintain or enforce any measure to ensure that the investment activity is undertaken in a manner sensitive to environmental concerns. Then if we look at this particular provision, Article 14, the second paragraph, it contains a general exception provision, and so sometimes you find both provision, general exception provision as well as prohibition and restriction also. And so that's why I had considered both of them to be a general exception provision only for the purpose of this lecture 9th week of the course, right? So if we look at general exception, it is good to have a provision. I mean, this is my concluding remark for this lecture. So that is good, but then it has to be drafted as per the needs of the country, and that is tailored to suit the investment regime as well. But I am not entirely convinced as to the utility of a prohibition and restriction provision in the context of an international investment agreement. So I wouldn't much emphasize on including a provision on prohibition and restriction. So with that, I conclude lecture number 41. I'll meet you for lecture number 42, and I'll discuss about particular exceptions that you will find in an international investment agreement. Thank you.